Hi guys, it's Henry here from IFE. So today I want to talk about pension transfers. And if you've already transferred your UK pension and you're offshore, what are some of the downfalls that you may be doing? So I've covered in a few of my blogs, a few of the stories about how a lot of clients have lost money before when people have invested them into properties, the charges have been very high, or they've just been invested into funds that just haven't performed because they were high commission paying funds that never really beat the benchmark. So put a link below into a load of stories into that. But today I want to go over what can you do if you have one of these. How can you check it's not happening to you as a pension transfer investor? So one of the signs is, we talked about this a lot, is the bond. So if it's in one of the Royal London, basically they'll charge the amount on the premium that was invested, not for a set amount of time. So for example, if you take it out, so you transferred it to 50, you then take your PCLS at 55, you'll still be paying the premium of what you initially paid in most cases on these. So for example, it could add up to 4 or 5%. I've seen a lot of platforms charging clients for that. The other option is fees. Now we've talked about fees a lot here at IFE and how they kind of add up, particularly in the pension world. Not so much now because there's a lot of regulation. They can put them in investment platforms, but to watch out for in the bonds, especially if it's in some of the Utmost, Royal London, old ones, Generali, FPI. It's in some of these plans. Potentially now you can look at mitigating the fees and transferring it into a lower cost platform if it's in the if it's past the surrender value. So it's something you may want to look at, because these can be still charging you 1.5% plus fund fees. Normally a lot of them have either mirror funds that add extra costs, or funds that aren't index trackers, that you can potentially lower your cost by even 1.5%. That can be obviously beneficial for you as the holder as well. Brings me on to the next one, is the funds. Now what should you look out for in regards to the funds? Now I've done a lot of topics, a lot of blogs going through certain funds, analysing funds and what they are. We've done a whole section on index versus active funds and how to look for active funds. So I'll put a few links in below, and feel free to go to the website and read a bit on that. But in regards to the pension, just make sure it's funds that are highly Morningstar rated. If they're active, if they're passive, ask why they're in that particular region or geographically. If it's a passive fund. So if it's active, make sure it's beat the benchmark over the last 5 years, make sure it's got good AUM, make sure it's also got a good rating by Morningstar, and if you want to go into a bit more detail, have a look what the fund manager, his track record, what it's holding, and why these stocks are good. Obviously, if you've got a financial advisor, ask your financial advisor to do this for you, and he should be happy to make sure that it's all okay in that regard. But you can do it pretty easily by going on a few sites, Morningstar, Trustnet, checking the rating agencies on these funds, if they beat the benchmark and whatnot. Normally a lot of the good funds are highly rated and have a lot of AUM under management. If you do have a pension and you think you are paying too high fees, or it's not performing in line with what we've seen with market expectations, feel free to get in touch at info@investmentforexpats.com.